CyberKill by Dekarro, Chapter 2. A typical fall in New England involves people walking along the beach and some sailboats moving along the ocean waters. The small towns are hustle and bustle. The rustling leaves and trees move from the slight gusts of wind. Red, orange, and yellow leaves are on the ground, signifying the cooler weather has arrived. Many of the families are along the sidewalk cafes, enjoying the newly released hot beverages from their favorite coffee shops. The residential streets are filled with school buses dropping off children to their houses. A two-story residential home is shown on one of the side streets, which looks to be an average neighborhood. There are kids on bicycles going down the street, and a family is playing with their dog in a nearby yard. The home is finished with gray-blue vinyl siding and architectural shingles on the roof. There is a front brick walkway, landscaping, and a front porch that leads to the main door. There is a two-car garage to the right. A pathway along the side leads to a rather modest backyard area. The interior of the house has 4 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms. The main house is finished with textured drywall, trim work, and hardwood floors. Along the second floor, one of the main bedrooms is shown, which is roughly 12 by 12 with off-beige walls. There are drapes on the window and a flower-like border along the top of the walls. A computer desk and laptop is on the left with the top still open, but nothing is displayed on the screen. Missy is still sleeping with the covers over her head, slightly moving on top of the bed. She has medium-length brown hair and is wearing a tank top and shorts. She is sleeping peacefully with normal breathing. She begins to come to and moves her right hand close by her head. She slightly shifts to the left. Her eyes begin to flutter as she comes to. With her eyes fully open, she looks down as she lets out a scream. "Ah!" says Missy. There is a long green snake squirming around her feet with its tongue flickering. "Damn it, Gary," said Missy. She hurls the covers over to expose the snake underneath. A loud noise is thumping outside the room as someone is coming up the stairs, revealing her brother Jason. "Everything all right?" asked Jason. "Yeah, it was just Gary. He got out of his cage again," replied Missy. She gets up and places the snake back in the cage. She turns to her brother. "I have to head into work in a few. You sure you're okay?" asked Jason. "Yeah, I'll be fine. I have an interview this afternoon at 3, replied Missy. "Nice. With who?" asked Jason. "One of the law firms on Main Street is looking for someone. Figured I might give it a shot," replied Missy. "That's great. Let me know how it goes," said Jason. "I will. Have a good day at work," replied Missy. "Love you. See you when I get home," said Jason. "Bye, Jay," said Missy. He turns and closes the door behind him. Later that same day, the inside of a local tavern is decently busy with several patrons sitting by the bar. About a dozen people are sitting with half-full glasses in front of them. The main bartender is filling another beer on tap and gives it to a patron to his right. The front door of the bar slowly opens, allowing light to trickle inside. Someone enters and begins walking into the bar. Jim, the bartender, is currently serving drinks. He looks up as Missy approaches one of the chairs and sits down in front of him. He looks back at Missy inquisitively. "What'll it be, the usual?" asked Jim. "Yeah, vodka on the rocks. Make it a double," replied Missy. "You got it," said Jim. He looks down in front of him and begins scooping ice into the glass. He takes out the bottle and begins pouring. "Tough day?" asked Jim. "Went for an interview at Martin's law firm. Hour-long interview. Can you believe that shit? After all that, they gave the job to some half-wit right out of college. Figures. I can't stand this town," replied Missy. "It's all right, Missy. Something will come through. You'll see," said Jim. "If you say so. I need to get out of this town, Jim. I've been here way too long," says James. Jim hands her a double shot of vodka, which she downs all at once. She slams the shot glass back down on the bar. After a few seconds, there is a loud sound from Missy's pocket. She reaches down and pulls out her phone and begins scrolling down. A message envelope appears on the face of Missy's phone. She taps it with her finger and opens the message. "Hey, Missy, what's going on? Missed you on the board last night. I love our philosophical late-night chats. There's no one that quite gets me like you do. Hope to hear from you soon. From Geraldo, LaFan 59. Missy replied to the message she received. "Thanks, Geraldo. Good to hear from you. It's been a tough week, so anything right now will help. I will be on tonight around 8. We'll talk soon. From Missy, baby girl, 865. Jim looks over at Missy, who is still gazing down at her phone. Important date? Asked Jim. Not really. Just a friend, replied Missy. Well, just be careful. There's been a lot of stories on the news lately of internet psychos. No one is really what they seem nowadays, said Jim. Yeah, well, you'll be surprised. Sometimes I think people that you don't actually see every day treat you better than those you do. Another double when you get a second, Jim? Replied Missy. She motions her glass over for a refill. Not so fast. There's plenty of time for that. I don't want to have to carry you out of here, said Jim. Just pour it, insists Missy. He pours the drink and pushes it over to her. She downs the drink again and slams it back down on the bar. I heard from Hank down at the station that they're looking for a dispatch person at the front office. Part-time for now, I think. You should talk to your brother about it, said Jim. Jay never mentioned anything about it, says Missy. I just heard about it yesterday, replied Jim. Thanks for the tip. I'll ask him tonight, said Missy. Just trying to help, said Jim. She grabs some dollar bills from her pocket and places it on the bar. She begins motioning from her seat. Have a good one. See you around, said Missy. Take care of yourself, said Jim. Jim looks worried as Missy walks away.